imaging is really great, but you're still looking at it like a 2D picture of reality here.
Yeah. Joris, I know we've been talking a lot about drug delivery lately, and particularly targeted drug delivery. And it got me thinking, is there ways that we can visualize the targeting of the drug delivery, like in real time, or even as we do this?
Yeah, that's a good question, Nick, because that's exactly what we're trying to pair up with. When we develop these complex delivery systems, we have to keep in mind that they're often used concurrently with an imaging modality.
Sure.
And when we're speaking about imaging, we're speaking about typical medical imaging techniques, MRI, ultrasound, and CT. Those are imaging technologies that are often used with drug delivery, and they will indicate exactly that you're in the right spot, because otherwise how would you ever know that you're right there where you want to deliver that drug?
Sure. And when you talk about those imaging modalities, and there's quite a spectrum of resolution there, like MRI, as I understand it, you're going to have quite a high resolution versus ultrasound, which is, I'm used to the images of the babies and things. It's less resolving. So is there different applications or different times you'd use them?
Absolutely, yeah. So if I go over those three imaging modalities that I just mentioned, so MRI, CT, and ultrasound. So let's start with MRI.
Sure.
MRI is really used it gives you the highest resolution. So it's amazing for in terms of resolution, and you can get really deep into a tissue, but it's not very good for crossing large amounts of fluids or bone, for example.
Right.
So where we see an application there is, like, for example, for deep brain tissue. So if we want to have a lot of precision in deep brain targeting, for example, if you want to go to the putamen, which is a target that's often...
And it's kind of like right in the center of your head.
Exactly, it's really deep into your brain, and that's we're targeting that for the treatment of Parkinson's. We've actually worked on a couple of devices that were going after that particular region. That is often done with MRI. Where CT comes in, I have to say that MRI is actually relatively poorly available in hospitals. So there's not a lot of hospitals that have an intraoperative MRI
Yeah, fair
suite.
enough.
So that just kind of limits its application.
And doing surgery in an MRI, holy smoke, that can't be inconvenient.
That is an inconvenient, feature of that imaging modality. However, it gives you that resolution. So sometimes you just need that. But when you don't need that for a lot of other applications, like you can, for example, use CT, and CT is widely used. It's also much more widely available in hospitals. And so it's slightly lower resolution, but for example, if you want to target the spine, there's great resolution, and you see that exactly, for a bone application. So targeting a spine through CT-mediated or guided imaging, that is exactly where we see a lot of drug delivery devices, imaging combination products.
Nice.
And then the last but not least, ultrasound. Ultrasound is even more available than CT. It's truly real time, and that's like really spectacular. You can actually have an immediate feedback of what you're doing with your, let's say, for your needle, if you're going after a particular region. But ultrasound doesn't always get deep enough, and it's also really inhibited by, for example, the bone on the skull. So if you were to try to go after a brain region, that kind of bounces off, so it's not always applicable for that. But where there's ultrasound probes are used is, for example, for targeting nerve blocks.
Sure.
Knowing that you're exactly in the right spot to numb that nerve, or or pain medication in that regard.
Very cool. Okay. And so it's quite a spectrum. I mean, where do you? We get to talk to people all the time about these types of things. Like, where do you see the future of this going?
Yeah, that is something that we think about often. Like, where would these go next?
Yeah, right.
And we see that imaging is really great, but you're still looking at it like a 2D picture of reality here.
Yeah.
And more, there is computer modification, like smart programs that are able to convert that 2D image into a 3D image. And by doing so, you can give more and more perspective to the user, or to the doctor, to the physician, or a nurse that's actually applying that drug delivery device in real time.
Yep.
I think that's where we're going to see most advances in the future. 3D imaging in relation to any of these imaging modalities, and that then combined with complex drug delivery devices, the world's our oyster.
Wow. Yeah. Quite a future.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right. Thanks, Joris.
Great. Have a great day.